Hey there guys, Ormcast back with a new video today. So yes guys, I've just come out of watching the finale of Superman and Lois for their final season. And honestly, this finale, oh my god, it was so great. Honestly, there was just moments where you felt the emotion, and those moments where I just almost like teared up, to be honest, and not many stuff can do that, to be honest. But yeah, this show was definitely something special. Honestly, it is the era of it's an end of an era of DCTV coming to an end before we obviously move into the new DCU projects. But yeah, guys, this was just one show that would hit the mark, and it was just one of the greatest things I've ever seen out of the entire Arrowverse, to be honest. It's crazy to think that all the DC TV that was on the CW started off with Superman with Smallville, and now it's coming to an end with Superman and Lois, which is just, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time I'm glad of what we've got from this show and the entire Arrowverse and the CW shows in general. To be honest, I'm grateful for that, and I am looking forward to what is coming in the future with the new DCU. But yeah, this is the end, and it is a bit heartbreaking, but just what a run, what a great run. I won't lie, this was a great run for this era of DCTV. But yeah, now that I've got that bit out of my chest, to be honest, off my chest, I just want to obviously talk about this season and what has happened basically. So this season was mainly a continuation of the end of last season, obviously, where we know Lex Luthor came into play after onomatopoeia and Bruno Mannheim. So he wants to ruin Lois and Clark's life, basically, obviously take everything from them. Then we obviously see the creation of Bizarro, who obviously gets turned into Doomsday, which was a pretty cool idea. Because I like that reference, because when we first meet Bizarro in this show, he was actually wearing that sort of suit in the mines or whatever that looked very Doomsday, because people thought that was Doomsday back in season 2, I think it was. But yeah, that was such a cool payoff when they done that in the end of season 3, and then obviously it's carried on into this season as well, which is just great. And then obviously, spoiler alert, seeing comic book accurate Doomsday. Oh my god, he looked so great. I won't lie, between this Doomsday and the Doomsday that was on Krypton, them two Doomsdays in live action are probably my favourite Doomsday looks, I would say, or designs, I would want to say, to be honest. But Doomsday was amazing in this show. You feel bad for him, honestly. I do feel bad for Bizarro, who obviously at the end, when we know that Superman flies Doomsday up, because obviously Doomsday killed Superman this season, we know that. And then obviously in the end, in the final episode, we obviously do get to see Doomsday get defeated by everyone in the final season. And when we're flying Doomsday to the sun, we obviously I thought Superman was going to punch him, and then Doomsday looked at him and was like, no, just let me float, just push me into the sun, which was really sad, because you see his eyes go back to his Bizarro eyes, which was really emotional. You just feel bad. I do feel bad, and it's just I never thought I would feel that kind of emotion for someone like Doomsday, because in the comics and every other version, like cartoons or any other TV show or film, Doomsday has just been a monster who just wants to destroy everything. But they made it Doomsday in this show, like, you could really connect with him. Obviously doing that with the Bizarro storyline as well, and it was just so good, honestly. Like, I was so heartbroken by that, but yeah, it was such a great story that they pulled off with Doomsday and Bizarro in this show. And like the whole death of Superman storyline that they did in this show overall. But yeah, that was what I want to talk about with Doomsday and like the Bizarro and the death of Superman storyline. Basically, obviously, you have like other characters in this show which I want to get into as well. Yeah, so I want to talk about Lois and Clark specifically. So Superman and Lois, two leads of the show. So yeah, they, oh my god, just, they were great castings, honestly. Like, even when they were cast for like the Elseworlds crossover, I believe, they were just amazing in that crossover. And then seeing them again in Crisis, and obviously in this show too, they were just brilliant. They were just like the perfect Clark and Lois. Like, you just can't deny it. It was just like one of the best adaptations, to be honest, that I've seen on TV for a long time. But yeah, they were just amazing. Seeing the journey that Clark's been on as Superman through like this show and the crossovers as well that came before was just amazing. Same with Lois as well. Seeing her journey, her arc where she got breast cancer. Now that was just really emotional. That was, watching her go through that. And then obviously, spoiler alert, seeing her cancer come back in the finale, obviously when she's grown up a lot older with Clark. Seeing her die because of that was really heartbreaking to watch. But my god, like, she was just so good at being Lois and in this show. Like, it's just one of the great performances I've seen, and being like a mother, reporter, a friend, and a wife. It's just amazing seeing her play those different dynamics. And then Clark, just seeing Clark go through all this drama. Like, obviously we got to see him in like the first season deal with the fact that he had a brother from Krypton that lived, like a stepbrother. And obviously seeing him go through other stuff, like him being powerless to obviously deal with Lois's cancer, which was just something he couldn't do anything about. And then obviously just being a father as well was just like really emotional to the story as well. But yeah, honestly, Clark and Lois in this show were just so good, and I honestly just can't complain about them at all. Like, the performances were just so good, and I'm gutted that this show is over, but it was a great ride watching this performances from both of them, and seeing them with the rest of the cast as well. Now, talking about Jordan and Jonathan. So, what do I think of Jordan and Jonathan? I think they were great from the start when they first introduced it, because obviously originally we knew there was only Jonathan from Crisis, like pre-Crisis. But by the end of Crisis, we obviously got informed that there was twins now because of what changed in Crisis. So Jordan happened. But yeah, I really like the idea of Jordan and Jonathan, like having twins for Superman and Lois. Like, I really liked that idea, to be honest. And I really liked how Jordan was the one with the powers. It was a bit of a change from the comics, where obviously Jonathan's the one with the powers in the comics, but they played it off where Jonathan didn't have powers for a really long time, and I didn't think he was going to get powers, to be honest. But yeah, I was actually quite shocked when this season we actually see Jonathan actually generate some powers. Like, I was actually shocked. I know that's from the comics, but I thought they were changing it for the show, but obviously they thought, as this is the final season, we might as well just go all out, and I'm grateful for that. Like, I am not against that. I'm glad the journeys we've had with Jonathan and Jordan. I like the whole like ex-kryptonite drug storyline that Jonathan had to go through, because obviously he felt jealous of Jordan having powers and him obviously not. And then obviously I like the idea of Jordan struggling with his powers as well, and obviously struggling and finding what he wants in life as well. And yeah, they were just really great, the actors that played them. Obviously we did have the recasting for Jonathan. I think both actors that played Jonathan were great either way. I've got nothing against that. But yeah, they were just great in my opinion. And then obviously seeing them finally in the end both become like Superboy, I guess, which was just amazing to see as well. Just seeing those costumes. We did see a couple like different Superboy costumes in this show, like with the 90s. Got like a more modern take of the Superboy costume as well, with like the red and black. Yeah, those Superboy costumes did look sick, I won't lie. But yeah, I'm just glad that they did it finally. For the final season they did get to have some sort of Superboy suits, so that was pretty cool seeing those, especially in that final shot where you see the Superman family all together flying in the air. Like, you get both Steels, both Superboys, and obviously Superman in the middle. And yes, that shot was just so amazing to see, and they did that so well. Like, I really enjoyed it so much. And then talking of the Superman family, we obviously got John Henry and his daughter as well, the Irons family. They were just great. Like, I love the whole mystery of them in the first season, where Steel, we thought that was Captain Luthor or something, but it turned out to be Steel, and they were from like another parallel Earth. I love that whole story. That was just amazing to see. And then obviously we see John Henry Irons obviously get married to Lana in the end, which was just so good. It was so amazing to see. Like, I was not expecting that to tie the knot, you know, but yeah, that was just amazing to see. But seeing Steel finally get the cape, that was amazing. And I love the reference at the wedding, where Lois says to John Henry, "You are a man of steel." I just love that line so much. But yeah, Jonathan, like Jordan, like in the Irons family, part of the Superman family of heroes, was just amazing to see on the screen. Yeah, it was so good. I just want to talk about like the Lang family, like Lana, Sophie, and obviously Sarah as well. So the Langs were a really interesting family to see, because we know that Lana and Clark were obviously best friends, and that like in school, there's always that romantic connection in the comics as well. But yeah, it was just amazing to see those characters in the show too. Like, that family I really liked as well. Even like Kyle as well, who's obviously married to Lana, and obviously had kids with her, with Sarah and Sophie. Kyle was just great. Like, in the first season I thought, okay, he sounds like a bit of an idiot, to be honest, but like, when you go through the show, you proper do grow with him in the show. And obviously we see him get with Chrissy as well, which was just amazing. And obviously we get to see an old version of Kyle as well when in the future with Clark, as we saw in the flash forward, which was just amazing. But yeah, like Kyle, Chrissy, the Lana, like Sophie and Sarah, they were just amazing, to be honest, even though we hardly saw Sophie. But yeah, but I really enjoyed their presence in the show, to be honest. Like, I liked how Lana became the mayor, and she was like the best of Smallville, basically. She was like the heart of it, sort of like how Martha Kent was the best of Smallville as well, as everyone referred to her as that. But yeah, they were just great to see in the show, and I just really liked what they had to bring in the show. And then obviously we see Lana and Jonathan getting married when they start dating, and eventually get married and that. So that was great to see that. Just really cool, to be honest. Like, I was really happy with their performances, and they were just, the storyline with them was just great as well, having them in the show. Yeah, so that was just like, I really enjoyed it, to be honest, with them being in the show. Like, that friendship that she's had for Clark and that as well, and she was there through Lois's battle through her cancer as well, was just amazing to see. But yeah, guys, I just want to talk about Lex Luthor now in this show. I won't lie, this is probably one of the best versions of Lex Luthor I've probably seen in a very long time. Like, in my opinion, like, my favourite Lex Luthor has always been like the animated one that Clancy Brown voiced in the Justice League cartoon and the Superman animated series. That was always my favourite version of Lex Luthor. But this version of Lex Luthor, oh my god. When we saw him in season 3, I thought, oh my god, this Lex is a badass, to be honest. Like, he will not stop at nothing to get what he wants. Like, to get his revenge or like anything, or to ruin Lois and Clark's life and their careers and their families. He just won't stop. And honestly, I just loved the performance that we got from it as well. It was just so amazing, like, seeing Lex Luthor just not give a crap about anything. Even when he got out of Stryker's island or prison, he walked all the way from prison to Smallville before going back to like Metropolis, which was just like, he did not care. That was pretty sick, but that was just really like badass, to be honest. Like, it was so sick. But even seeing him in the battle suit, which we've never seen in live action before, even though it was John Henry's suit, but still seeing Lex Luthor in a battle suit for the first time. And I'm hoping that maybe one day we'll get in like James Gunn's DCU or something, but seeing that for the first time, because I've only seen that in like the cartoons or animated projects or the comics, and honestly I was so glad we finally got that, because the amount of Lexes we've had in like films or television, we've not seen him get into the battle suit. We did see it in Supergirl as well, but that's the only 2 times we've seen it. But this was so good, seeing Superman fight Lex for the first time in the battle suit, and then obviously him turning Bizarro into Doomsday was just like amazing as well. That was so great. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, he kept killing Bizarro, and then eventually he turned into Doomsday, which was just, well, sick. And then that's how obviously we get into the whole death of Superman storyline through that, basically. But yeah, this version of Lex, I just loved it so much. And I just, even the bit that got me at the end where you see Superman in the sort of afterlife when he passes away, when he dies, and he's going on, he has this little monologue, like speech, and he says, like, he sits down with Lex in this afterlife and forgives him, because you see Lex like tearing up as well, regretting it. Was just so amazing. But yeah, this performance of Lex was just so great, I can't lie. We did have one death that did affect us this season in the final one, which was just like really heartbreaking to watch, and that was Lois's father, Sam Lane, General Sam Lane, who was obviously in charge of the DOD. Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to die, to be honest. Like, and then obviously he gave up his heart as well to bring back Superman, bring back Clark, which was just amazing. As we learned in the episode, Clark got an extra 32 years because of that. But yeah, it was just heartbreaking to watch. Obviously when Doomsday killed Sam Lane. But yeah, I've really loved his journey, Sam's journey. Like, he's obviously, like, in the comics as well, he's just like a very stubborn, like, general in the military, basically. And then obviously he does grow, and obviously spends more time with like his grandkids, and obviously with all the cast members, basically, like the Irons family, like Lois as well. Yeah, he improves his relationship with Clark as well. But yeah, seeing him sacrifice himself in the end to bring back Superman was very critical to the story, and it was just very heartbreaking to watch as well, to be honest. But yeah, Sam, we will miss you. And I just love the scene where we see Lois pass away in the end, and she says daddy, calling out to her dad, like she's just seen her dad going into the afterlife, which was just like really sad and really emotional. But yeah, another thing I want to quickly talk about is we did get the appearance of Jimmy Olsen in this final season, which was really great to see, and I was so excited for this when we found out. And it was interesting to see that Jimmy didn't really know that Clark was Superman. He had his suspicions about Clark being Superman, but it was just great to see that friendship play out. Seeing Jimmy Olsen was like really great, and then obviously we've got his sister as well, Janet Olsen, involved too. Great seeing her, because she obviously worked at the Daily Planet too, back with Lois and Clark. So yeah, just seeing Jimmy Olsen and Janet was just amazing to see them, to be honest. Like, I was just so surprised we got that character in this show, because I didn't think we were going to get that, to be honest. But yeah, it was nice seeing that, to be honest. Now I just want to get into talking about like our villains and some of the antagonists we've had in this show as well. So this show has not disappointed us with villains or antagonists in this show at all. Like, they've all been amazing in my opinion, to be honest. Like, I want to like go back to season 1. Like, we had Tal Rowe, who was revealed to be Clark's like stepbrother, basically, from Krypton, who was pretending to be Morgan Edge from the comics, basically, or taking the identity of Morgan Edge in this world. And that was just amazing seeing that, to be honest. Like, I really liked Tal Rowe, and then seeing him again pop up in season 2. He obviously went to he ended up going to like the Bizarro world in the end, because in that world he was married to Lana in that world, which was quite funny, to be honest. But yeah, I was kind of sad that we didn't get back for the final season, but I mean, he is on another world in the multiverse, so. But yeah, Tal Row was just great. You've also got the second season where we had like Bizarro, which was just great having Bizarro in the show, to be honest. Like, I really liked Bizarro so much, like in anything really. But the main threat was obviously Ali Alston, who was basically a version of Parasite in the comics. And to be honest, Parasite is actually one of my favourite like Superman villains, to be honest, besides like Lex Luthor, like Brainiac or whatever. But yeah, I do like Parasite, but I didn't know when this was a different Parasite until I saw the show. I didn't know there was multiple Parasites, to be honest, in the comics. So this was a first for me, seeing it on the screen in the second season. And yeah, it's definitely something different from what I've seen of her in the comics. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably say I did enjoy it, to be honest, but she wasn't like my favourite villain out of this show, to be honest. But yeah, guys, that was the second season, so we had that one. We also had the third season where we got Bruno Mannheim, which was just so great because he was amazing, and seeing his family as well, his son Matteo and his wife Pia, who turned out to be Onomatopoeia. And like Onomatopoeia is like a really cool character I've seen in the comics. Like, he's like a Green Arrow or Batman villain, to be honest, but seeing Onomatopoeia in this show was really cool. Seeing Bruno Mannheim, I really like Bruno Mannheim in this show. Like, I always just thought, oh, Bruno Mannheim, he's just a gang leader, he just leads into gang or whatever in the comics. But yeah, he was so sick, to be honest, and seeing him come back in the final season, being the one that running strikers, calling out Lex, and even helping Clark and Lois in like the flash forward as well, which was just amazing. But yeah, that was cool seeing them, to be honest. And then obviously we did have the final season, which has just ended, so seeing Lex Luthor was just amazing. We've already talked about Lex, but yeah, we've already talked about Doomsday as well, which was just bizarro, and that storyline was just amazing. And we did also have Milton Fines, which in the comics is a version of Brainiac in the comics. I knew when they mentioned it, and I saw the Brainiac logo on that screen on the monitor that he had, I was like, nah, he's not gonna go like full Brainiac, there's no way. And he didn't, but it was cool having like a version of Brainiac in the show, I guess. But yeah, he was just sort of like a minor villain in the show, which was just like pretty cool to have in. And then another antagonist we had was Gordon Godfrey, and if you recognise the actor that played him, Tom Cavanagh, who obviously was Reverse Flash and Harrison Wells in The Flash, like, he was so perfect as Gordon Godfrey. I really loved his performance, even though he's only in one episode, but he was just so cool. Like, I know Gordon Godfrey in the comics and like Young Justice, he's an agent of Darkseid, but seeing him was just amazing. But yeah, guys, the antagonists and villains we've had in this show has not missed the mark, to be honest. Like, they've all been great, and I just wish there was another season so we could get more like villains or whatever. But yeah, we're not. It is a bit sad, but at the same time, I am glad what we've got out of this show, to be honest. Yeah, so another thing I just want to talk about before we wrap this video up is after we get the ending of this show. So at the end, we obviously see Lois pass away. The boy's all grown up. We do see Clark eventually pass away. Before he does pass away, he does get a dog as well, which turns out to be Crypto, which was pretty cool seeing Crypto. And we obviously get to see older Lois, older Clark in this flash forward, and the boys all grown up and they've got married. It doesn't say if they married, if like Jordan married Sarah or if Jonathan married Candace, but they do both get married and they have grandkids, so it's nice seeing that. But yeah, it's good seeing that, to be honest. It was really nice seeing that and seeing Clark and Lois and even an old Kyle as well, which was really cool. But yeah, that was so cool in this sort of ending. And then obviously seeing Clark and Lois pass away and then meet each other again in the afterlife, was just beautiful. But yeah, just amazing. But yeah, guys, to wrap this up now, just this show overall was just so amazing. Like, I'm sad that it's finishing now, but yeah, guys, like the Arrowverse in general was just really cool. I really enjoyed it. Even when it started, the like DC era on the CW started off with Smallville, and now it's ending with Superman Lois. Like, it's very poetic. Like, it started with Superman, and now it's ending with Superman. And obviously it is sad, but we've got some new stuff to look forward to with the new DCU in the future, and I'm excited for that stuff. But this journey has been an amazing one, to be honest, and it was just a really great final season. But yeah, guys, I just want to know what you guys think of this final season, the final episode in general, the whole era of the CW, like Arrowverse, and that DCTV era come to an end. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment down below what you guys think of this show. Did you enjoy it, or like the Arrowverse in general, CW, DCTV? But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave you there. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well, and check out one of my other videos if you feel like it, and stay tuned for more videos like this if you enjoyed them, and I will see you in the next one.